Hi, so right now it's March 22nd. It's about 1 p.m. and it's kind of a bit of a somber and sad day because it marks my last day in Mauritius, and being related to the coronavirus scare, it's came here in Mauritius as well. So the State Department has actually asked all English language fellows to return back to their home countries, to leave where they're working, as well for Peace Corps, thousands of teachers, and as well for Fulbrighters. So I just thought I'd just do a quick reflection on my time here. I arrived in January of 2019, and right now it's near the end of March of 2020, so I was able to get a good time in Mauritius, about 12-13 months, and the journey's been really wonderful. It's been a great experience of growth, being able to teach teachers, to be able to work in a different schooling environment. As you can see, I'm going to miss my apartment where I've been living, where I've been growing some things. Sometimes they live, sometimes they don't. I'll miss my simple bed and my simple fridge. I'll miss the trees in the back. It's really, it's pretty sad to leave something that you love. I think that when you love something deeply, you have to be willing to let it go and allow it to transform its relationship with you over time. Because the harder that you hold your fist around something that you want, the more challenging it becomes to actually keep it the way that you want. We truly can't keep anything the way that we want. In fact, we're constantly responding to whatever is happening and doing the best response that we can with the resources and tools that we have. I was with a mindfulness writing group that we started here online, as well sometimes we met in person. Now no more meeting in person because of social distancing. And one of the ideas that I had written, and also that Brenda had written, another teacher, was that, nature is completely, at the seams of it, unaffected, right? Completely doing its thing. Birds are enjoying themselves, trees are just spending their time with the wind, and there's quite a drastic situation amongst humans, and it's quite upsetting. And at the same time, things seem normal on the surface, but they're definitely not normal. They're, certainly have the potential to be deadly. The first case that was recognized officially was a couple days ago. There was 3 cases, and there was 5, and then 7, and 12, and of corona, and it's really a serious issue. And I think that it's quite a liability for me to stay here, although I'm really enjoying it. The American healthcare system would be able to help me better if there was any issue that had arisen, and it'd be with my family. So some things that I was hoping to do that didn't happen yet, keep the growth mindset going, was to order a couple hundred books and to place them in different libraries and then do literacy programs. I don't know if or when it'll still be possible to order the books. I would love to try. However, that's one thing. Another thing was a conference where different teachers were going to come from different parts of Africa, and that also, we already know the story. Something else that I was aspiring for was a series of workshops that would be online, actually in person, and on different topics, but unfortunately I wasn't able to do them because of the timing. But I'm trying to brainstorm how I can work more online, possibly. I've started, at the time I was here, doing some creative writing meetups, doing some meetups on yoga and breathing, anything to kind of build our sense of connection and wellness. I think it's really important to build our sense of not being alone, because we're really not alone. we have so many gifts, but we don't see those gifts when we're lost on the telephone, or when we don't slow down or stop and observe and notice. Which is one of the tenets, definitely, of mindfulness, is to just pay attention to what's happening without judging it or needing to change it, and allowing to respond to the situation in the best way possible, once again with the tools that are available. So I'm hoping, even though the fellowship has ended, I'll be able to do some workshops with teachers online, and I'd love to be a specialist, to apply to be one. Maybe in 2021, in the spring, I can possibly come back. God willing, things calm down over here and in the world. It's interesting because there's different paces of what the coronavirus is doing in different countries. Some countries like Korea have done a really sublime job at managing the outbreak. And other places, as you know, Italy, Spain, and so the US is having some challenges, are having some more challenges based on different factors. So I'm praying for the wellness and the healing of everyone in the world to be able to manage this really challenging and dark moment. You can't have the light without the darkness. The sun, there he is not there all the time. In order for the sun to have value, the darkness comes. It's kind of this yin-yang concept. So we're experiencing it in a really deep and strong way presently. As the I Ching, a book I really enjoy consulting and reading, comments on the inferior and superior forces that are acting on us in any moment, and how we exist in that. It's really important. I think I've grown a lot during my time in Mauritius. I've learned how to slow down my excitement, slow down at times my energy. Been able to do grounding. The dogs, who are usually there doing their business, have gone back home. Definitely feel that Mauritius has transformed me in ways that I'm still unfolding to see. And I think that's what's beautiful about traveling and exploring different countries, is one gets to experience the layers of who they are and how they transform based on where they are. And they also get to see the layers of who they are that don't change based on where they are, that stay the same. Because we can't escape who we are, we can only change the environment. Which is one of the interesting things about going home presently, is I'm thinking, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna have things to do, I'm going to be, depressed and out of it, because, my whole identity for the, assumed identity for at least last year and this whole year was to be an English language fellow and working and teaching and having that prestige attached to my name. And now, in a way, that's been taken away. But there's so many more things that have been taken away from people, that what is a job, right? We're looking at deeper things that are being given and taken away every moment, such as life. And I think that I've made really deep relationships here, loving ones, caring ones, and I've learned a lot. And to leave something that is part of who you are, or has become part of who you are, feels really unnatural. Feels somehow that I'm abandoning the teachers and the students that I've worked with, and that feels really uncomfortable. But I've gone in that before, having taught in different environments in different schools, so it's not new. But at the same time, it's discomforting. It's like you build a place in your heart for other people to start to become part of it, and then at any moment, because of whatever a situation is bringing, that place in your heart, I guess you could say, it stops singing in the same way, or it stops sinking in the same way, because of whatever the environment is projecting onto me, and then how I'm responding to the environment. Area, abandoned mountains overlooking them, and my neighbors with their dogs bark endlessly, and the ones down there with the dogs that use the toilet endlessly in front of my home. Kind of became home, you know? And to leave where you lived is challenging, and to go back to what you know is intimidating, because I'm going back to the same place. Well, maybe it's different because of what's happening presently, but I also feel that part of me has transformed in the process. And then I know that waning excitement goes away from time to time, and I need to keep that level of joy intertwined inside of me. And also allow the sadness to be there, because not everything is joyful and excited and happy. It's not reality. Whatever is present is allowed to be there. My taxi's gonna come 7 hours before my flight on an island that you can get anywhere on in an hour and a half, so that I can avoid la folie, avoid all the crowds hopefully, and just kind of get in there easily, check in, and yeah. I think some things I'm looking forward to are continuing my yoga practice in the morning, utilizing Zoom and streaming it onto Facebook and YouTube at the same time is pretty exciting. And I'd like to create a space for other teachers who are part of our program, who have to leave early, to join me if they'd like to, because it's really important to take care of your mind and your body and your heart and your spirit. And I'd also like to create a sort of channel for children's books being read. However, I'd like to read them in a very soft voice, kind of ASMR, calming, to kind of give young people this sense of reassuredness in these times of great insecurity. And I'm speaking to some other English language fellows who are also interested in mindfulness and doing this kind of work. So we will hopefully fuse something, maybe yoga a couple times a week in different languages, thinking definitely in English twice, maybe once in French, once in Spanish, maybe in Portuguese. And it's just about how to experience and embrace whatever's happening in your body, in your mind, in your heart, and your spirit. If I can continue doing any of my classes, would love to, online even. I don't need to worry to keep running and swimming, I guess, although it's really important to me, physical activity. And I just pray to get home safely. Presently, I'm going to be doing a long trip through Dubai, Boston, and New York. And I'll be leaving 11 tonight and getting back home around 11 p.m. tomorrow, which is actually more than 24 hours because of the hour change. Or maybe it's only 24 hours, but regardless, it's gonna feel long. And I'm gonna be as protected as I can, like inhaling alcohol all over my face. And just pray that everyone may get home safely who's abroad, and everyone who's living in their own countries may be healthy and may stay home and follow all the rules that are set in place to ensure security. And I just pray for good energy to everyone. in this time of challenge. So I'll be sharing very soon, even linked in the bottom of this video, what the upcoming schedule will be of online classes if you're interested in taking something. It actually makes me more motivated to do meditation or yoga or all these things when I know someone else is there or someone may show up. So I'm going to use that as an advantage, and I think I'm lucky to have that resource, and I want to start using it and giving it to other people and keeping it for myself too. Well, not keeping it just for myself, but applying it on myself. So I feel this is maybe not the best ending, but maybe it's just a different form of continuing. There's a possibility to return, which is good. And send me your good energy on my trip home. And thank you for joining me on the journey. Say bye to Mauritius.